Hi mathematicians, it's Mrs. Childs. I hope you've been working really hard for Mrs. Burkhart in the first half of math. Today we are going to focus on two things in our small group together. We're going to talk about how decimals can be represented on something called a grid, which you can see on the screen in front of you. And we're going to also talk about how decimals can be placed in order. Both of these things, boys and girls, are going to help you get ready for that math test tomorrow. We're going to try some of it together, and then you're going to complete some of these questions on your own for practice. All right, so first things first, I know that whole numbers and decimals can both be represented on a grid. We've been working with these grids for many years. So the first thing I do when I look at my grid is I look at how many pieces that my grid is broken into. This is going to help me identify if my grid's in the tenths, hundredths, or thousandths. So if I look at my grid here and I count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there are 10 little bitty boxes or little bitty cubes in each column, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and there are 10 of those columns. 10 times 10 is 100. And since 10 times 10 equals 100, I know this grid is going to represent our hundredths. So the decimal that's showing is definitely one that goes to the hundredths place. Let me make sure I put that ending on there. All right, so to be able to figure it out, I can count all of the shaded in boxes. Now I know that there's 10 already shaded in here, and I know that there's 10 shaded in here, and 10 plus 10 is 20. Let's keep going. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So I'm going to write 26, except I'm not going to write the whole number 26 because I know that this is representing a decimal, and I know that it's a decimal to the hundredths place. So I have to put my 0 and my decimal point, and then when I read it, this 6 should be in the hundredths place because I want it to say 26 hundredths. And I know my place value chart goes tenths, hundredths, and then you guys are probably already thinking it, the thousandths. Ooh. Guys, it's hard to write with this mouse, you know that. Woo, off the page over there. All right, thousandths, I wrote it all out. All right, now let's take a look at our next one. So boys and girls, on the second example, I notice it looks a little different. It's not divided into as many sections as A was. So I don't think that this one represents the hundredth like the first example did. Let's look and see what decimal place this might represent. I say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So since there are 10 little sections, I know that this one represents a decimal to the tenths place. And just like before where we counted what was shaded, I'm going to count what was shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's not just the whole number 4. Because we know we're representing a decimal, we want this 4 to be in the tenths place. So I need my 0 and 4 tenths. All right, let's check out two more together before you try some on your own. Okay, boys and girls, here's our next two examples, C and D. I noticed that one looks like it's split into the hundredths pieces, and then we have another that looks like it's split into the tenths pieces. Go ahead and pause my video now and see if you can jot down the answers on your whiteboards to C and D. Go ahead and pause now. All right, welcome back, mathematicians. All right, let's check over our work. So looking at C, I know C is going to be a number to the hundreds place because it is split into 100 pieces. So we're going into the hundredth. So I'm going to count what's shaded. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So I'm going to write my 45, but I know that it's the hundredth, so I need my 0 and 45 hundredths. Awesome. Make sure that goes to the second place value because we want it to be the hundredth. All right, let's check over example D. Uh-oh, we're back to our tenths because we're split into 10 equal pieces. This one's kind of simple. I've got my 1. Can I write it like that? I hope you're saying no. I need it to be 0 and 1/10. Awesome job, mathematicians. Now you're going to get ready to try some examples like these on your own. Before you do that, we're also going to look at how can we put our decimals in order? How can we look for patterns? Okay, boys and girls, so we're going to look at decimals and whole numbers and patterns that they follow. So on your test tomorrow, you might see different patterns on the test. It's going to be our job to see if we can identify what the pattern is and what numbers would come next in our pattern. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read these numbers to myself in this pattern. So I'm going to start with this first one over here. Now thinking about our last page, this first spot is our tenths, the second spot is our hundredths, and the third spot is our thousandths. All right, so let's see here. 0 and 6 thousandths. Okay, that's my first number. Let's look at my second number. Ooh, the 6 has changed positions. It's no longer 3 spaces from the decimal, it's only 2. So 0 and 6 hundredths. Okay, all right, let's continue on in this pattern. Ooh, the 6 has changed position yet again. It went from 3 spaces away from the decimal to 2 to now 1. And I have 0 and 6 tenths. Okay, all right, let's keep going. Whoa, now I went from 6 tenths to the whole number 6. So now I'm on the other side of the decimal point. So now I've left decimal land. Now I'm moving into my whole numbers. It seems the 6 is shifting 1 spot to the left each time. Let me think for a minute. What would come next? Mathematicians, go ahead and pause the video now and see if you could jot down what 2 numbers would come next in this pattern. Okay, welcome back, boys and girls. We talked about how we noticed the 6 is moving 1 place value over to the left each time. We started in the thousands. You could also write this as a fraction and look at this. 6 thousandths, 6 hundredths, 6 tenths. Wow, our number seems to be getting bigger each time. We went from 6 out of 1,000 pieces, then out of 6 out of 100 pieces, then 6 out of 10 pieces. Now we're at the whole number 6. All right, if my pattern keeps continuing, I'm thinking the 6 is going to shift over again into the next place value. So it was in the ones place. Now it's going to shift over into the tens place. All right, and if my pattern continues again, the 6 is going to shift from the tens place. It's going to shift left again, and this time it's going to be in the hundreds place. Wow, look at this pattern. All right, boys and girls, so now that we're looking at this pattern and we found the next 2 numbers, we have to think about what is this pattern changing by. So the first thing that I think is the easiest is I think it's easy to look at the 2 whole numbers. So I noticed the number went from 6 to 60. The first thing I'm going to ask you is, did it get bigger or did it get smaller? hopefully you're thinking in your head or talking back to my screen, that number got bigger. So let's look at our two options for what our pattern could be. All right, so down here it says each term is either times 10 as great or times 1/10 as great. All right, so if I look, my number went from 6 to 60, and you told me already that it was getting bigger. So I know that it's going to be times 10 as great. If my number was getting smaller, it would be times 1/10. If they had asked me, ooh, Mrs. Childs, what comes before 60? And if we were going backwards and we were getting smaller, if I had 1/10 of the number 60, it would be times 1/10 and it would get 6. But this time our pattern's getting bigger. It's a lot like our money question from yesterday when we talked about if somebody had $7,000 in the bank, like say Miss Child had $7,000, and let's say Salem has 1/10 of that. Remember, our number was getting smaller and moving to the smaller place value. Or maybe Michaela has times 10 the amount Mrs. Childs had. So her number would get larger. Ooh, I want Michaela's bank account. All right, boys and girls, you're going to go back into your playlist and you are going to complete those practice problems for me. Make sure you're very careful when you do your work. You will see something similar to it on your math test tomorrow. Take your time, do your best. If you need help, go back and rewatch this video, pause, fast forward it to get to the parts that you need. All right, mathematicians, I'll see you later.